Pine Forest Cemetery, incorporated in 1869, lies at the end of North 15th Street. Over the years, the headstones on various graves have toppled over, many falling victim to time and various other elements. Many headstones have begun to sink into the soft earth on which they sit, or are merely chipping away at the edges. Some have even become completely illegible, no longer bearing the names of those who lie in the graves beneath. Many of the graves in Pine Forest, aside from family members buried next to one another, are spaced far apart. Oakdale Cemetery, established in 1852 and lying adjacent to Pine Forest, is another story. Its monuments are grandiose, some being large crypts and mausoleums, while others bear headstones topped with detailed statues. A good deal of these headstones have stood the test of time, most still being legible today. Unlike Pine Forest, many of the graves in Oakdale are placed close to one another, family or not. At both cemeteries, one can find headstones bearing religious symbols, giving an idea of the different people's belief systems throughout. Adorning many of the headstones are also symbols representing the deceased person's previous occupation. Here we find a hilted sword on the headstone of J.H.K. Burgwin, a captain in the 1st Regiment U.S. Dragoons, the first of the Army's mounted units. Brangie Wood, buried in Pine Forest, lies beneath a simple headstone adorned with a dove. Isabella Smith in Oakdale Cemetery has a headstone that looks much like a scroll placed over rocks. Both are children with relatively simple stones bearing a one-line inscription that refers to the child's current state of being. Here, we find examples of newspaper clippings from the times in which both children passed away, including an obituary for 3-year-old Isabella Smith. So, what's the point? Why should we use cemeteries in our schools? English classes can study the various symbols and inscriptions on graves, deciphering their different meanings, leading into a discussion on literary symbols throughout literature. Science classes can survey the graves, graphing and recording data about the months and years in which people died. And social studies classes can research the history behind those dates and analyze why more people may have died during certain times. To sum it all up, cemeteries tell stories. They give students a chance to learn about history, about the community in which they live, and about the people who once lived there. They provide students with a unique way to learn about the world around them, what once was, and to consider what could be.